questions.
I actually really do like answering questions.
Honestly, I think it's the cheat code.
Yes.
How do I start building a strong digital footprint when I have zero time, zero patience? Be there. Yeah.
You don't have to farm your life for the content that already exists. You don't have to follow the trends. No. The antidote to that kind of thing is just to be radically authentic, like radically yourself.
And real people resonate with real people.
Correct. Don't be a weirdo.
No,
like
be a real person.
Real person.
Yeah. What's going on, family? We are back again for another podcast episode. Things are changed slightly in the studio, but we're always trying to fine tune and elevate because that's what it's all about. Plus, I'm a tinkerer. I can't help myself. I've got to tinker. And one of the things that tinkerers love to do, you know what it is? Answer questions. We love, like I tell people, they have these 5 love languages. Questions is not one of them, but questions is definitely, yours. Absolutely. Yeah. Like that's my love language. So ask me a question. I
actually really do like answering questions.
Honestly, I think it's the cheat code for so much more people.
Yes. I think in every job that I've been in, I feel so fulfilled when someone has a question I can answer it for them. And they're always like, wow, thank you so much.
Listen.
And I didn't have to do much. I gave you information I already have.
Boom, done.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, listen, I was on a coaching call with somebody literally earlier this morning. Yeah. And he was just like, I really like going into groups and engaging and answering questions. I'm like,
same.
Yeah, same. and it's crazy because we are so different in so many other ways. So we're going to dive into 5. I've got 5. Well, I've got more than 5, but we've got 5, time for 5 questions. And I want to say right here at the outset, if you have questions that you want to send in, man, info@howitallworks.com is the space. Go ahead and drop your questions there. Our video producer will put it on the screen somewhere, but info@howitallworks.com. You can send in your questions, and your question might be one of the ones that we read. And if you give us permission, we'll even say your name. Okay. Look at that. A little bonus.
Yeah.
But we're excited about this. This is another episode of the How It All Works podcast. Since I haven't introduced myself yet, my name is Kirk Nugent, and get to serve as your host, and my lovely co-host is
Taina Nixon.
And man, we are excited for another episode. But this one, we had such fun on the last one. I honestly, we've gotten good feedback on that one as well. So we wanted to kind of run that back, as they say. And so the first question, I'm just going to read it as it has been stated. It's okay. All right. Kirk, I know you are a huge advocate of cutting down production time. As a busy CEO who is already stretched thin, how do I actually start building a strong digital footprint when I have absolutely zero time, zero patience for heavy video editing? If this was a live show, I'd be like, put a 1 in the chat if you resonate with this question.
Exactly.
So don't you be 1 1
real.
Like this is like such a real scenario. Like
easily
who has the
my
time?
Least favorite part of content creation is video editing. And there's so many people who, for them, the hurdle of video editing is so huge. Yes,
they don't even
never get around to create. Yeah.
It's like, because I know I have to edit this video.
I understand.
So I mean, I really only have one prescription for you, and it's actually a challenge that I do. It's called the No Video Editing Required Challenge. You can actually post consistent content without having to edit video. And I don't mean that from the perspective of, you need to learn how to do live production like what I do with Ecamm or StreamYard. I mean, literally, you could just record it and choose not to edit it. Like you could just, one of the seminar that I did in Orlando, Florida, a couple of weeks ago, called Media Ministry Methods. One of the things I was walking them through was the pause button on your phone. Now, you and I both know that the pause button is there, but you know how many people? I literally was like, okay, open up the phone, the video app, hit record. Do you see a pause button? And one guy said, no, wait. When did that get there?
It's so wild because it's been there the
whole time. And I said to them, look, the pause button is your video editing.
That's right.
So you could literally record a piece, pause, move to another place, record another piece, pause, and so on and so forth. Maybe 3, maybe even 2 or 4 different scenes or scenarios that you can be in. But there's no video editing required there.
Right.
That video is actually ready to go. And I can't tell how many people I do this for. I'll record 4 or 5 clips, pause.
You did it with me when we were doing a photo shoot, and I was like, how is this ready to go?
It's ready to go.
And that's when I learned that you were doing that. I was like, okay,
and
I like it.
It changes, because once you realize, like, wait a minute,
I could be
done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you might throw some captions on it. It really could be. I mean, if you're busy, this is one of the things I would highly recommend is to learn this practice. Now, this is a generic answer for pretty much that rounds it out for everybody, but specifically to the person who asked this question. I mean, a busy CEO who's already stretched thin.
Yeah.
What I would say for you is to schedule, right? Work with your team as a CEO. Clearly you have a team. And so this answer is more specific to the person, not so much everybody, but schedule some time with your team to do what I would call a live show, but it's simulated. You're not actually going live, or you could, but schedule, let's say 2 hours a month. Now, I'm saying a month. I wanted to say per month because I know you're busy, but schedule 2 hours a month to do a live show. And in that live show, you have segments. So one segment, you just get a chance to just rant about whatever is top of mind, whatever you're pissed off about. Every industry, we all have our things. It's like, why do we do that? Why do we do that? I hate that we do that in this industry. So, have a section where you're ranting, have a section where you're talking about something that is, something that happened in a previous call or something you're doing at work. And then have a section where you're interviewing someone. Those 3 sections, maybe even 4, if you do a Q&A, and you can plant those questions, you can clip all that up, and that becomes evergreen content that you can paste all over. Just a part of your team, though, not you. You're only required for that recording. And once the recording's done, the team takes it and runs with it from there. So the for the CEO, I don't expect them to be editing video. Right. I mean, let's not.
Well, the thing could be, though, that they don't have someone in place for video, like content production.
Yeah.
That might be something to take into consideration.
Yeah.
Like going into your next fiscal year, the next time you're looking at your budget, you do want to think about, like, okay, if I know that I need video in order to promote my business and to show up in a certain way, then that is not something that you can afford actually to not have in place.
Exactly. And you hit the nail on the head. Yeah. And this is the third thing I was going to say is you might need to hire somebody.
You might need to hire somebody.
I don't edit video. I believe in the No Video Editing Challenge. I not only walk you through the pause, I walk you through using platforms like Ecamm and StreamYard, but I also say Fiverr.
Yeah, find somebody who do that.
Yeah, Fiverr and Upwork, and get somebody you record the video, give the video to someone else, like this video, right? If you're watching this podcast right now, all we did was recorded it. And then it was uploaded to someone else. And in fact, there are clients that I've set up an automated process. So when they finish recording, it automatically uploads to Google Drive, and their editor has access to that Google Drive. Nice. So there's not like there's a whole process. Let me grab the file and up. No. I
love that.
No, for the busy person, those kinds of automations are really going to be where you can maintain consistency. Because if you have an idea, you can quickly go to your home studio or in your office studio, record, and walk away. And know that file is already uploaded. So there's a lot of different ways to explore, but I think just knowing that this is a priority for you is going to be big.
Yes,
because it may require some. How do you buy back? How do you get time back?
Correct.
You buy it,
and time and energy. Like if you know that this is something that is sucking the life out of you, and it makes you not even want to show up, I think that's worth investing the money into having somebody else do it.
Oh, my word. Invest the money. Let somebody else do that thing. Get it off of your plate. Because no, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. Anything else you want to add on that one? I'm eyeing question number 2.
No, I think we covered it.
Good. Okay. This one says, Taina and Kirk, it feels like everyone online is pointing at text and chasing viral trends, right? Pointing at text, I had to just pause there. It wasn't clear what they were saying at first. All right. Pointing at text and chasing viral trends. Yeah. How do we practically shift our strategy away from just trying to get views and focus on building an online presence that actually establishes professional authority and brings in real clients? I think we had a version of this in the last Q&A as well. But yeah, how do we shift from, because that is, unfortunately, that is a perception of social media.
Yes.
Is that you're going to have to do the dancing.
Yes.
You got to do
Yeah.
I hate those videos. I got to do.
And I never have. I have never made that kind of video.
I've never done it.
I don't think it's necessary in order to be successful online. If you like that,
I was going to say,
like
no
to
shade
dance,
to the person that wants to do that. But
there's a reason why that became a trend. Someone did it. Other people were like, oh, that looks fun. I'm going to also do it.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. So shout out to the trendsetters, right?
Trends.
But you don't have to follow the trend.
No.
And I feel like the antidote to that kind of thing is just to be radically authentic, like radically yourself.
Yeah.
And maybe you are a dry humor type of person. Maybe you are a like very technical person and you have all the details and that's your expertise, is that you know exactly how this thing is meant to be done and you can break it down like nobody else can. Let that shine on camera. I just don't believe that we have to make ourselves like anybody else.
So wise.
So that translates to all kinds of things, but that includes your online presence.
Right.
So radically yourself and showcase your own gifts, like your specific brand of magic.
I love it.
That is what you need to make front and center. If you can adapt a trend to showcase your brand of magic, then do that.
Then do that. That's, when you can stack, that's the
correct. That's the sweet spot.
Right.
That's the sweet spot where you see a trend and you're like, okay, actually I can twist it to make it fit my niche or make it fit my humor or whatever. Do that.
Yeah.
You know?
Real quick, just based on you watching this podcast, I know two things. You believe in investing in yourself and you recognize the exponential power of content. Super dope. Content is the engine that enables professionals to control how they show up online. And that's why you're here. But I want to ask you this question. Is your current digital footprint intentional or is it abandoned? When people Google you, what do they find? And are you in control of those results? I want to invite you to take the A-List Digital Footprint Challenge. In 90 minutes, you'll gain unreal clarity on your digital reputation and how to improve it. This challenge has equipped chefs, public servants, medical doctors, MCs, speakers, and educators to turn content into community and authority into impact. What if a few online presence changes could be the difference between another average year and finally cracking six figures? Scan the QR code if you're watching on a TV or click the link in the first comment below. Put yourself back in control of your digital reputation. All right, let's get back to the conversation.
There's everything that you just said, absolute gold. I also, anytime I hear this question, this kind of question, there are multiple versions of this question. I always go back to, what are you saying? What words are you using?
Okay.
So when I start off by saying, man, I was on a coaching call with a client and we were looking at this issue, and my response every time I get this question is this. Now, this is not a real story, y'all. It's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying to you that I coach.
Right.
I'm saying to you, I have clients.
Right.
I'm saying that I get this question multiple times.
Right.
And my principle-based response is this.
Okay.
Meaning, I am an authority figure.
Right.
You can come to me to be coached. You could be a client. I'm saying these things without saying these things. And so I'm always wondering, whenever anybody says, like, how do I establish myself and I make content something that actually brings in clients, what are you saying? And I think it's a version of what you just said as well. You've got to be radically authentic.
Yeah.
So, you know, for the guy, it's the coaching client I met with earlier, he deals with prostate cancer for people, and he. So
this is a real coaching client.
This is a real coaching client. Now this is a real client. But this guy, I was saying to him, I was like, man, you sit across from people, helping them to understand their diagnosis, helping them to understand what their options are, and you're constantly telling them that they need to advocate for their own, journey. You need to be saying that. Like, once you get off the call, grab your phone and be like, man, I just did this.
Right.
That's the content.
That's right.
And I think we try to make this a little more complicated than it has to be, especially for professionals who are in the trenches day to day doing the work. That means you already have content.
Correct.
So when people say to you, your content is in your calendar, what we're just saying is in your appointments.
Correct.
Your content is already there. Yeah.
You need to farm your life for the content that already exists. Yeah.
That's and that's a version of what you're saying in terms of being wildly authentic.
Yeah.
When you share that with people, it's like, man.
And when I'm saying showcase your brand of magic, or like the thing that when you perform well on your job.
Oh, come on.
You need to document that moment, like after You know, if in the moment or right after, be like, just now I was able to accomplish A, B, and C, and here's how I did it.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? And people can tell when you are being, that's why I can't say enough about authenticity.
Right.
There's just something about it that comes through camera, content, whatever, or when you're talking to an individual where you're like, oh, they're so excited about this. This can't be faked.
Right.
Like they have just experienced something and they want to share that experience with me so badly. I believe them.
You see, the reason why I was starting to chuckle while you were saying that is because one of the other ways that you can showcase that you are authentic is that you're not talking about success every single time.
Mm-hmm.
Like sometimes you come on and say, whew, I failed that one.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
That was the worst coaching call ever.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that if that guy asked me for a refund, I'm going to give it to him.
Right.
Because that was terrible. Like that's authentic.
Yes, that's very authentic.
And even for the 5-point thing that you just said, it's like, I figured out how to do this and here's how.
Here's how.
But to say also like, I have been banging my head against this.
Right.
And I finally figured it out.
Right.
Because gives
here are the ways that I did it wrong first. And then here's when I finally figured it out. The other thing I was going to say is like showing yourself, because you want to establish yourself as an authority figure, right? I get that. But like everybody knows authority figures, right? The CEO at their job is an authority figure. You know what I mean? Their direct manager is an authority figure, whatever, right? Like what you actually want is for them to see you as both an authority figure, but also a person that they want to learn from.
Oh my word.
Right? Like that is such a specific, like concoction, like that only you have.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody else is you. So they could find another authority figure, I'm sure, in the field, unless you work in like just the most niche, like unless you're Victor, what's the guy's name who's in space right now driving the
I can't remember his last name, but
the astronaut unless you're him. There's somebody else.
There's somebody else that does
do the job as well as you do, right? Unless you're Christina Cook, there's somebody else who can do what you do, like you, but they are not you.
But they're not you.
You can serve a person that they could not.
Oh my word.
So it's important for you to show up as yourself, like radically as yourself, so that the people that are meant to learn from you will feel called in.
Yeah.
By you. And I forgot. I was going to say another piece of authenticity or a way to do it is to show yourself doing the thing, right? And you're doing it really well. I did this with a keynote speech. And then afterwards, also show all the things that they could not see.
Yeah.
So like in my first keynote, my dress was not zipped up in the back because I couldn't fit it. It didn't fit properly and I didn't have time to get another dress. So I just wore my blazer over my dress. But then like in the next post, I was like, things you didn't know were happening during the keynote, and shared some of that stuff. And people they thought it was hilarious, but they were also like, that's so real.
So
like
real.
Yeah.
Because I still killed the keynote, right?
Right. I was confident. Yeah. I showed up confidently. So my whole point was that like, you don't have to be perfect in order to be confident. You just have to like hit your notes, like hit your key.
Yeah.
And do the thing. So yeah.
This is so good because when we're talking about, okay, how does it translate into real clients? Real clients are real people.
Exactly.
And real people resonate with real people.
Correct.
So be
a person. Be a human.
I feel like this is like a sub-tagline for the show.
It's like, don't be a weirdo.
No,
like
be a real person.
Be a real person.
Yeah. That will translate. I think,
100%.
Yeah. You don't need to dance. Unless you want
to.
Your thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if dancing is your thing, don't feel like it's too cringe or too whatever.
No.
Again,
no. Embrace that.
Yourself. Embrace that. Some people genuinely love dancing.
No, for sure.
Bring that to your platform, For
sure. I love that. And there's the whole client, acquisition thing. Again, it comes down to how you're portraying. How are you coming across on camera? How are you coming across in content? But then what are you saying? So there's those other pieces, like I said earlier, but then what are you offering?
Correct.
There's
what's the value?
The value piece. But then what are you physically saying? Because so many people put out content, but they never tell people the next step. You expect them to just magically find the website,
right,
magically book the call?
Yes.
No. Tell them to book the call. And so those are pieces I think that people, to be direct and say, hey, if this was helpful,
do this.
Yeah. Download this form, get this guide.
Yeah.
Let me give you this assessment. Let's get on a discovery call. Tell them how they can take the next step. So I don't think people are people don't recognize that they're not being direct.
Correct.
In the church world, you know, you would never end a sermon without an appeal.
Exactly.
The doors of the church must open. So I feel the same way about content. You need to give people an invitation to go deeper, to take another step, to do something. Your content, if it's done well, is going to stir something up in the other person that's watching. And they're going to say, man, I really need to now know how to do this. That thing that your content created, you need to solve that. And that's how people take the next step. So yeah, that's how you format those pieces. And I think, you know, we've kind of touched on some of that. We got 3 more.
Go ahead.
This one says, I really want to adopt the multiplication mindset you guys talk about. If I can only commit to doing 1 hour, you know, broadcast per week, what is the exact workflow or tool you recommend to seamlessly turn that single video into podcasts, blog posts, short clips without burning out? That little piece you put at the end. No,
I was just about to say,
without burning out.
Let Kirk answer that, because I did burn out. And I have to rebuild. So listen, you tell us.
No, but I think it comes back to what we talked about earlier. You just because the video needs to get done doesn't mean you need to do the video.
Good point.
I think we don't treat ourselves as talent enough.
Yes, agreed.
Sometimes, I mean, even at the media ministry where I work, Breath of Life, I often have to say to the team, guys, for this show, I'm actually talent.
Right.
So
someone else needs
can't
to
actually be part of the production and all the pieces. I need to be treated as talent.
That's such a good point.
And sometimes we don't treat ourselves as talent. So that's one of the ways that I always look at it, from the perspective of how do I maintain consistency and not burning out. But I do think there's automation pieces that we must employ, and just being intentional on the front end. How do you structure if it's a show, it could be live to drive. It doesn't have to be, you know, where people are watching, but if it's a show, you structure it in a way that allows for those pieces to naturally be clipped out. So you don't have to finding clips in a live show. It's like, you know, it's like finding Forrest. Like, where's Waldo?
Brother.
Like that's actually tedious. In fact, my video editor says this is his least favorite thing to do.
Oh, bless.
Is to
find
the clips in the show, because he's like, what? So if you can structure the show. So remember I said earlier about, okay, you have that rant section. Maybe that's 5 minutes. And then you play a little bumper, a little, you know, logo twirl. And then you're in this other section where 2 people are on screen and they could be remote. And now it's an interview.
Okay.
You are now in your host bag.
Right.
And you get
then
a chance to
clip from that section.
You can get a clip, or that section
can be the clip.
And then maybe there's a section after that interview where you're recapping the conversation you had with your guest. Man, you know, they shared this, but, you know, I kind of differ with them. Boom. That's another thought piece. That's another clip. Lastly, you have a section where you do Q&A. And people, just like we're talking about today, I love Q&A. We thrive with Q&A.
Yeah.
But there's no one that says that you can't plant your questions.
Right.
So if you have a live stream or a live to drive recording, can the questions or get the team to come up with questions, or ask your mom and your sibling and whoever to come up with questions, and so that you have questions you can answer. I like questions that I was never able to prepare for. So I will can questions, but I don't want to know.
Okay.
Don't tell me what the question is.
Okay. Because you want to answer off the top of your head.
I want to answer off the top. I'm better that way. Yes. I know me.
Yes.
And so, but those questions, each question could be a clip.
Right.
Each question, if you can figure out a way to respond succinctly and very quick, like, well, for this we want to boom, boom, boom. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And those could be clips as well. Now that you have the whole thing recorded, don't do the clipping and the posting and the scheduling yourself. Hire somebody to do that. Get a virtual assistant who is versed in this world. There are virtual assistants that specialize in social media, and they could do that piece for you.
I guess that's the answer, Kirk.
It really is. You got to
That's the answer, because I was doing so many things.
Yeah.
My business was already several different prongs, influencing, coaching. And then I was offering people like social media services and advice as well.
Yes.
That's like the one thing that remains right now outside of the occasional coaching client, is that I do contracts where I provide social media for other people.
Other people. Got it.
Like admin, talent, coach.
Too many hats. Yeah. No.
Yeah, that was really wild, actually. Now that I'm saying it out loud, that was really crazy.
This is a real story. This is a real story. But I was working with a client, and we hired a team. We built a team, I should say. You don't just go and grab a team, but we piece by piece put together a team. So they had an editor, they had a VA, they had somebody that was doing some graphics, thumbnail design, stuff like that. And as I was talking to the VA in his team, I realized that she was taking notes to give to her VA.
Oh,
the
VA had a VA.
Oh, the VA had a team
virtual assistant of
VAs. The VA I was talking to was the face of about 20 VAs. Because I got so curious. I was like, what's going on here? She's like, oh, I've got a team. Oh, yeah. I don't do this work. I show up to the meeting. I document it, quantify it, and give it to someone else. Reason why I'm saying this is because I want everybody to feel okay with building a team.
I'm stunned.
No, the VA had multiple. Yeah. And so, because that's what I want to give people permission.
Yeah.
Is like, you don't have to be the one that executes. You don't have to be the one doing all the things. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie.
That's deep.
My coach told me the reason why your business has not blown up is because your hand is on too much. So I've been actively, now you have to recognize this is a journey.
Oh, for sure.
It sounds simple, like, oh, okay, I'm just going to hire somebody. No. I fired my first video editor because I wasn't ready. I didn't like how they were editing the videos. I thought I could do it better. I was like, why am I paying for this? But at a certain point, I just said, these are not Hollywood. This is not going on. It's not going to be on a big screen. Like,
point. For one of my contracts, I'm going to be super transparent. For a contract that I have where I capture, edit, and post content for a client, for a company, they have someone who wants to do it. Actually, and was like, hey, do you mind if, I put together like a reel or whatever? And I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, send it to me though. He's like, oh, okay. Like if you give me the credentials, I can post it. I was like, no, you don't have to do that. I would never ask you to do that. That's way too much. Send it to me. And then I end up chopping up his joint and like doing it differently or whatever. But like in reality, there was nothing wrong with his reel. Like it was probably fine. But it's just not the way that I would have done it. Is what I'm saying. And I really need to get a grip.
No, I think that right there is a realization that each every one of us has to come to. Yeah. Wow. And it took me a while. So don't feel I want to give yourself grace while I'm giving you the solution. Because it is the solution. It is really. That is the solution. It really is the solution. It's literally bringing other people really along for the journey. I mean, honestly. Wow. Yeah, bring people along. Because once I got over the fact that the edit doesn't have to be the way that I like it. Yes. It freed me up. Because I actually don't like editing.
I feel like I should talk to my therapist about this. I'm having a moment right now.
This is definitely one of those couch moments. Like, why do I need to be the one that does this?
Exactly. What is my deal, bro? I am simultaneously complaining about how I don't like editing and also turning down the help of someone who wants to edit.
Wow.
I'm unwell and I need to talk to somebody.
No, you were normal.
Michelle, if you're watching, we're going to be talking about this next week, okay? Because I'm not okay.
This is good. I hope that what we shared there gives people some context for that one.
Yeah.
The blog post, the short clips, the podcast, all of the things that you're trying to pull out of that one. I mean, it's a great strategy. This is a really great strategy. Yes. But if you're thinking that that's something you can do solo, I don't think that's going to work very well for you.
Without burning out.
Very frustrating.
Because you said without burning out.
Without burning out, it's not going to happen.
No.
So definitely want to make sure that is there as well. Okay. Is this? We're on 4.
You should be on 4.
Okay, 4. I was like, this doesn't look okay. 4. Here we go. Taina, you and Kirk have such a natural, engaging dynamic on the podcast. For those of us who freeze up or sound like robots the second the camera turns on, how do you balance being strategic about your brand's messaging with just being your authentic self on video? This is a really
such a good question.
I'm so glad they pointed this one to you.
Are they? Are they saying? I want to make sure I understand. Are they saying when they're speaking to? Because we're talking to each other on camera.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That makes a big difference.
That makes a huge difference.
Because I can focus on having a conversation with Kirk and not really the camera.
Right.
And
it actually
Kirk and I are friends.
Yeah.
We have similar energy. We're both a little spicy neuron.
There we go.
Something there, you know? And so like we'll follow each other down like crazy rabbit holes.
Exactly.
Like, you know? So that works. And neither of us is annoyed by the other person doing that.
No.
So that's a dynamic that was going to work on camera and off. We're just like this when the camera is not on, right?
Perfect.
So you just try to like create this for camera's sake.
Oh, that's the clincher right there.
Yeah.
Don't create it for camera's sake.
Yeah. And it would need to be somebody that you know that you have a dynamic like that with.
Yeah.
So there's that. Now, if you're talking about just you in front of the camera, I kind of feel like you have to do the same thing in that you have to imagine the person on the other side of the camera that you're speaking with.
That's what I do.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I am. That is what I'm doing.
I am imagining.
I'm speaking to you when I'm
to
speaking
the proverbial you.
You, correct. Yeah. I'm thinking about how you might react to what I'm saying, right? I'm not
Sometimes
so like
I even laugh. Like real talk.
I do, and I assume that you're laughing with me.
Exactly.
I assume that.
Yeah.
So I think it takes practice too.
It does.
It takes practice. I am someone who has been performing quite literally since the age of 4 years old.
Come on.
I started performing at 4 as a singer and a pianist. And then I went on to be classically trained pianist, recitals, competitions for years and years and years. So
there's a piano out here.
For some reason, that's a hidden talent. Like a lot of people don't know.
I did not know that
From the age of 3 to 17, I actively took lessons. I did the Royal School of Music.
We're going to figure this out. Yeah. This has to be done.
Sorry for the secrecy. But so I'm used to sort of like performing myself.
Right.
Like performing my art, my skill.
Got it.
So it's not really like a pretend thing.
No.
But it can feel pretend. And each time I've changed mediums. So I was also the kid who was always asked to speak on like Education Day, Children's Day, whatever. Every time you like go to a different medium or another level of performance or showing up, you do have to like adjust, you know? So there was some adjust because I was born in the 90s. I was not performing to camera initially. My uncle was in the back with the camera, the big camera in the back. But I wasn't even paying him no mind. I was focused on the audience in front of me, right? Yeah. But now I had to switch to like, especially around 2020?
No, pandemic for sure.
When I started doing
camera.
Yes, it was camera. And I started with doing a Zoom recording with my cousin.
Wow.
My cousin and I were born 2 days apart. We have done life together our whole lives. And once we got over the fact that other people are going to watch this, it was just a conversation between the two of us. And that was our first video. We got great feedback on it. We did it a few more times, just us. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to try it me.
Solo. Yeah.
Yes. And another thing to do is to distract yourself. So the first time that I spoke to camera, no audience, it wasn't live. I was doing a skincare routine while telling a story. And
such a cheat code.
That's such a cheat code because and honestly, I wasn't super successful at the skincare part of it, but that's okay because that was just like an auxiliary piece. The main point was me telling this story about having to leave my OB at 34 weeks pregnant because I couldn't trust her in the labor and delivery room.
Right.
You know, and so like
critical
that's the
story.
Huge story, very important.
But such a practical everyday thing, your skincare routine that people can resonate with. So you're stacking.
Right.
That's so good.
In a way that I could feel comfortable instead of just like, I didn't know how to just sit there and talk to the camera. Now I probably can. Now I have found that I can be my most animated, real self in front of the camera, and that's fine. But I wasn't prepared to do that yet. So there are several different ways you can go about training yourself to be comfortable in front of the camera, to talk to camera. And also initially I was not using a back facing camera. I was looking at myself.
Oh, you were okay.
I was using the front facing.
You're seeing yourself on there. Yeah.
You can use a monitor, use something that was helpful for me.
No, but I think the front facing camera is a phase or a stage,
exactly,
that season that you go through to gain that confidence. Right. I love what you just really just kind of outlined the entire camera confidence cycle.
Okay.
I mean, there's so. You got to start somewhere.
You have to start somewhere.
And you know, that Zoom with your cousin, that's gold.
Yeah.
You know, just get those reps.
Get the reps. Get the reps in. You know, just do it as many times as you need to until you feel comfortable.
Yeah, because it will come. I think it will come. It does take time. I think a lot of times we compare where we see others are.
This is why I explained to you that I've been singing and playing the piano and public speaking from a child. Do not compare yourself to me. However, if you also have that resume, then that means that you can do this.
Absolutely.
You can do this just as easily.
It's time. It's reps. It's at bats. It's you give yourself more opportunities and you'll see yourself flourish where that's concerned. I love this. And I'm glad that you literally knocked that one out of the park.
Right.
The authenticity on camera. Absolute gold. Okay, last question. As we are landing, this one says, you both emphasize that our content should be the gateway to our business. If I am looking at my brand right now, what is the very first thing I need to audit in my online presence to ensure my content is actually driving people to my services rather than just entertaining them? I think we kind of touched on this earlier, but this is a good question. This is a good question for everybody.
I like that question.
Yeah.
What do they need to audit in order to ensure that their content is driving people to their business instead of just entertaining them?
Yeah.
Do people know what your business is?
Do they know what
it is that you do to make money? Like how they could interact with your business in order to
that part.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, so from the outside looking in, you would need to go onto your page or your whatever.
As if you're a guest.
And be like, okay, if I'm seeing this for the first time, what do I think this person does?
Yeah.
And if I think that they do this thing, do I want to work with them? If I want to work with them, how would I do it?
Well, if I think this is what they do, am I correct? Right? Because if I'm wrong, now then you need to make some changes.
Yeah, we have to make some changes.
Oh well, they do such and such.
And
no, that's not at all. So, but if you're correct, then
now what's the next step?
Yes.
Do I want to work with them? If I want to work with them, how would I work with them? How would I get in touch with them?
If I don't want to work with them, what do I need to change to make it so
what
that
might make it more enticing to the person? But also, let's say because I think that's important to think about, especially because you said not just entertaining them. There is value to just entertaining people.
This is true.
Right?
This is
like
true.
Sometimes your views are going to come from people who are not going to work with you.
Not at all.
And that's okay.
Listen.
How do we make them engage though?
Yeah. Oh, engaged.
Will they comment?
Yeah.
Will they click on a poll?
Engage.
You know what I'm saying? Like, engage the people. Engagement is definitely more than just entertainment.
Absolutely.
That's like now a reciprocal relationship that you have, and you want that reciprocity.
You do.
That part is important, and that's going to help get you to the people who need to see you.
Sheesh.
So I have friends who followed me before I officially became like an influencer or anything like that. And they would tell me like, oh yeah, I always share your stuff. They were never gonna be a coaching client. Once I became a coach, they were going to be a coaching client. And some of the stuff that I was helping to sell, initially my collaborations were with like parenting companies. They don't even got no kids.
They're not even in your target.
They're not in my target audience. So I don't expect them to like, you know what I mean?
No, entertainment is.
But I was entertaining them.
Yeah.
They liked me.
That's it.
So they engaged with my stuff. And they shared my stuff.
See, this is the content game that you're playing all sides of it.
Correct.
So yes, you want the person who's in your target audience to be clear of what the next step is and what you provide.
Correct.
But the game part is the way that your content gets suggested to your target audience is that there is engagement.
Right.
Is that there are views.
People are watching.
people who are watching or viewing or engaging, they're not necessarily part of your target, but you're bolstering your numbers at that point.
Correct.
This is part of that content piece.
Right.
You want to be able to get in front of your ideal, but when you get in front of your, if it's suggested to your ideal person and there's no comments, there's no views, they're the first one. They're just kind of like, let's swipe. I don't know if I want to be here. So you're playing the full game.
Correct.
By coming at it from all angles. I love to for this question. I always love to use the Amazon example, because many people think that the largest department at Amazon is order fulfillment and all this other stuff. The largest department is UX, user experience. They curate the experience from the time you search to the time it shows up at your house with that box. It's got the smile on it. They curate the entire experience. The user experience is what caused them to go from regular shipping to 2-day.
Right.
That's why they instituted Prime, because they're like, how can we make this better?
Yes.
You've got to take this, when you're talking about auditing your brand online, you've got to take a very similar mindset. What is my user experience?
Exactly.
If Amazon's largest department is user experience, there's a reason for that.
Exactly.
So take a page out of their book and start saying, okay, what does it feel like to book a call with me?
Right.
If there are 5 steps, could you make it 2?
Right.
Like this is the audit. This is the audit. These are the practical, like, okay, yeah, I can bring this process and make it a little simpler, make it a little more easy. What and that's going to inform the platforms that you use, the tools that you employ. It's going to inform all of that, because you're prioritizing the user experience. I don't want them to have to go through this.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make some changes. That kind of thing really does help your clients know they have prioritized me,
right,
and my experience.
Well, so
they've set
they're talking about content. They're saying, how do I ensure the content is actually driving that? So you need to look at it from that perspective of like, if I'm watching this content, does it lead, which comes back to call to action.
Yep.
Is there a direct line from this piece of content to my business?
Yep. Yeah. And what the benefit is for the person who's watching. Like, that you always want to lead with that. Your business is the benefit to the person that's watching.
Yes.
It's the cheat code. Them plus your business means this level of transformation.
Yeah.
And if you haven't figured out what that sounds like, what that looks like, then you need to do that work, because you want to be saying that in your content on a regular basis.
Right.
But no, that's good. That's
a great question.
It's a really good question. And I love this. I love these questions. We want to have more of them. We want to keep more of them coming in. And a lot of them center around similar themes. But honestly, everybody's at different stages and phases of the content journey. If you, up to and including, I mean, listen, for some businesses, the primary people for the business are not the ones who can get on camera.
Correct.
If that's not a skill set.
Yep.
There are many businesses that have brought in Taina to do, content work. Many businesses that I've worked with to put out content for their brands as well. That is a practice that you may want to employ for your business too. It's like, okay, there's people out there that are already doing this. Again,
right.
You got to see yourself as the larger entity. Now, you could do it yourself.
You could do it yourself.
Or you could bring somebody else.
You could end up burnt out for 2 years.
Yes, you could.
So don't be me. Be better than me.
Oh my word! Okay. I love this. This was such a great set of questions today. Thank you guys so much for sending these in and allowing us an opportunity to really kind of engage around them. Any final things for the person that's watching? I'm just trying to make sure I round it out.
I feel like we covered a lot of things. They asked such great questions and like thoughtful questions. So just send us more questions. Tell us more things.
Yes.
To talk about.
Yes. I'll just piggyback on what you just said. The ability to ask a great question. I think these questions were really good. Thinking through your own process and finding that specific pain points, like I'm really stuck on this, is something to really, that helps you to understand where understanding where you're stuck gives you clarity on what you need to do.
Exactly.
And so asking a good question is a really good part of it as well.
I feel like that just happened for me today.
Come on.
I just realized that is probably the problem. Because I don't have a problem being on camera. I like creating content.
Yeah.
But then there's like all the other stuff that has to come along with it that is making it so that I'm just way too burnt out to do those things. So.
And you, oh my word, there's so much more to talk about on that piece.
Yeah.
I will leave it, but I'm excited about what we've touched on today.
Yeah, this is really
and
good.
the Eureka moments that we've had, right? Light bulb moments for the two of us, which is really good.
We want to say thank you to help me.
Yeah. This was good today, fam. This has been another episode of the How It All Works podcast. We really want an opportunity to work with you and serve you at a deeper level as well. Of course, we're going to take our own advice and put our stuff on the screen.
Correct.
And give
so
you
that you know how to find us and work with us if you so desire.
If you so desire, like real talk, there are people who are in her DMs or in her email. You're on your website as well. There's a form that you can fill out.
That's right. You can fill out my contact form.
Absolutely. And then there are people that are hitting me up as well. And I just want to make sure that if you never do that, that's okay too.
Exactly.
That is okay too. We want you to continue coming back, consuming the content, engaging with us, sending in your questions.
That's right. Sharing it with others.
Absolutely. Because that literally is how it all works, family. And we'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Later.